Hi people, welcome to UK Jazz Dance. So I'm going to give you an insight into real talk and freestyle dance and cultural legacy of UK jazz dancing from my perspective. First of all, I'm a pioneer, and what happened has been a miseducation UK jazz dance from the beginning. First of all the dances have been lumped into the same culture. We're not the same. West Indians or African Caribbean, the same. My father was Jamaican, you see that there, and my mum was Grenadian, okay? Each dancer had his own history. Each dancer has his own heritage, his foundations, development of his technique, choreography, the way he learned performing skills, freestyling, solo work, group work, partner work. It's important for people to know that this art form started like vernacular jazz within the heart of the dancers' homes and evolved from their parents' steps and the music that they listened to. One of the key things, sports was what we used to develop ourselves. Dancers weren't going to dance school first. That came later on, and I want to put some perspectives on that. Many dancers started to explore ballet. You know why they started to explore ballet? Because many people doing martial artists were martial artists, and their teachers told them that ballet strengthens your legs. Other people did it because they wanted to be stage jazz dancers. Prerequisite of stage jazz dancing was ballet, so they looked before the leap because people wanted to get in the industry. Other individuals, who were sports people, like I said, they got informed that some of the dancers were doing ballet and they went and did it, okay? But we were the leading sports people and sports women and men, boys and girls. We did cycling, we did swimming, we did basketball. So circuit training was the training that we did for dance. We didn't have a class, and it's important that people understand that. At the same time, within our communities, like any community, you had individuals going to dance schools, and that's how we got knowledge who was top street dancers. So people got knowledge from them. Oh, I like the way you spin, boom, 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 because our art form was improvisational. Now, UK jazz dance is an umbrella term for a number of UK underground jazz dance styles, and it's different for everybody. I come from the northwest of England, from Manchester, and I do all styles. My style is unique to me, and I'm giving you advanced knowledge. I created a number of different styles: mixed movement, Latin jazz, soul jazz, bebop swing, jazz house, African jazz, all styles. And I want to give people an insight. The training that I involved myself in was training myself for alldayers. That's what people really have to have an understanding of. Alldayers were the place where the battlegrounds took place. They had battlegrounds in clubs. Alldayers is when everybody from around the country got together. This was the big one, like the World Cup. This was the one. This was the Olympics. I trained for alldayers, dancing 8-9 hours, competing against each other. If you did that training, you would be ready for a club. And we use certain clubs as training grounds, so you have to understand, as labs. So certain places I never went and competed ever, because I was practicing for alldayers. That was me, that's what I had. Certain places I went and I did compete against other people. That happened. But certain clubs I never went there with my friends, and we just practice. I was involved in no competition whatsoever as an individual. I wanted to just develop my conditioning, because as I said, we came from sports excellence backgrounds, so we had a lot of knowledge. I was in Sale Harriers from age 11 to 20. I was in 11 till about 19, 21 as an individual, and I ran a Lancashire cricket ground, basketball, from offside basketball, table tennis since the 11 to 16. I was very much heavily involved in sports. I was leading all-round sportsman in my secondary school, leading all-round sportsman in my primary school, and when I went briefly for my time at college, I was the leading all-round sportsman there as an individual. And what happened, you need to understand, we were very much involved in understanding physiology, sports physiology. We didn't have information on dance physiology. And a little way, that's what gave us the discipline. So one of the key things I want to share with you, my discipline for dance did not come from ballet, and I very much need to say that. It came from sports. It came from sports, many years in sports, many years exploring, messing about with martial arts. Why I'm saying that, because a lot of people assume when people go to do ballet, because people said to me, oh, your discipline comes from ballet. It never came from ballet. I was already disciplined before I did ballet, and I surpassed people who did ballet as well because of my sports background in sports. Because I didn't just take what people told me, I looked for my own way to develop myself in ballet. Same with contemporary. I just found out this is the technique, and I just worked on the technique and surpassed individuals, because I was a very technical sports person, and dancing, technical sports, technical dancer leads to less injuries. That's why I was a very technical person, but very, very interested in technique was important. And to do that, you have to do a lot of physiology. Now, what happened, because I was a sports person and didn't get knowledge on dance, because the teachers never taught me anything, I had a lot of injuries because my body shape needed to be changed. Eventually, luckily, out of luck, I used to read all the books in Manchester Youth Dance Centre Library, and there are hundreds of books in there. I found a book right in a corner called Dance Injury Prevention. I wasn't given that book by anybody. I was just looking through books and found that book, and that book changed the way I trained and saved my life as a dancer, as an individual, because I had loads of injuries because the dance teachers didn't tell me about dance physiology. Do you understand? Which is very, very important. What I'm giving people is advanced understanding of UK jazz dance appreciation, letting people know I was an avant-garde dancer. I'm very much a live improvisational performer. I was involved in intensive improvisation. For pioneers, for the dancers to pioneer their styles, they had to be extremely fit because they spent a lot of hours, first of all, they spent a lot of hours selflessly improvising. So remember, improvisation is three things today. I want people to understand improvisation is exploring, pushing the boundaries of your learning, devising, pushing the boundaries, and creating your own steps and moves. This was important to African Caribbeans and important to the jazz musicians because we took up the values of bebop, cool and modern, which was to find your own voice. So it wasn't for me to copy anybody else. That is the most important thing. Me and my brother used to practice. We never used to copy each other. We used to dance with each other. He had his own style, I had my own style. That was important to the West Indian because of their experience through slavery and colonization. What happened? Their creativity got taken away from them. Their voice, how they should dress, how they should look, how they should dance. You have to understand the significance. And this significance I talk about when people talk about UK jazz dance. What happened? I don't teach it as a class. Cloning each other. That is not what it was about. It was there within people to have to know the cultural heritage use of the dance. It had a use. It wasn't to be on stage and get clapped by other people. It was there to give us independent thinking. Say, here's a dance. Develop yourself through it. To be yourself, be who you want through the dance. Find something in the dance. Gain your self-awareness. Gain your self-knowledge. Gain your self-empowerment. Do you understand? That's what the dance was for. This is not being taught because people don't teach UK jazz dance philosophy. They don't teach the psychology behind it. They don't even teach the physiology. Because so when the dancers, the way the dancers dance, and say my dance, I use African Caribbean, you've got to have certain movements. You know, if you look at Catherine Dunham and Premise, you go back to them, they both studied dances and created their own technique so people could learn the dance. That's similar to me. That's what I did as an individual. UK Jazz Dance out.